Hey guys, just want to show you some comparison. I took the rear drive cup out. It actually feels pretty solid. Feels somewhat beefy. I don't know. I mean, just by the feel. The upgraded ones, I think it's even beefier. Weight-wise, they're about the same. This is not. I don't think this is aluminum. This is too heavy to be aluminum. This is probably hardened steel, and this might be just regular steel. Um, so yeah, given that, I mean, I will drop this guy in. The exact same size, direct replacement. So I'll go with this. And I would imagine that this is hardened steel. Yeah, these Dogbones feel pretty solid as well, so I would imagine that's steel as well, hardened steel. The aluminum hacks feels alright. I don't know, so it doesn't matter. I might just change them out just for the color, to get the color scheme right. Yeah, I may do that. And then the suspension holder here. Show you the difference. This is a nice little machine piece, aluminum, very light. Plastic one, little direct replacement. Yeah, I could see that the these A-arm holders usually take quite a bit of stress, especially if you're running the curb or land it wrong or something. So this will be a very good upgrade for this guy. Yep. So just want to show you that. All right. So actually, I was putting this guy in there, try to throw the pin back in, and hacks back on. And I noticed there's a little bit of slop. Alright, see that? Even with the stock stub axle, still a little bit of slop. Not as much, but still enough. So actually, I do have some HPI shims laying around that I use for my for the ruckus. I mean, I only got 3 left, huh? What? Why 3? But anyway, these are 5 millimeter by 8 millimeter by 0.3 millimeter. So inner diameter is 5, which will fit most 1/10 scale axle. I'm gonna put 1 there. 8 millimeter outer diameter, and then 0.03 thickness. It looks like I may have to put 1 more, but I don't know why I don't have an even number of shims in there. Slightly better. Could use another one, I think. The problem is I'm not going to have enough. Why do I only have not 10 pieces? I must have lost one. Because I know I used 3 and 3 on the ruckus. 6 pieces. I should have another piece, but I only got 2. I did buy some. Where's my Hobby King order? Hold on. This is for my 1/8 scale Berserker. Got the whole set of shims. I don't know if I have anything that may work. Yeah, now I do remember losing. I think I was not happy that I lost one of these shims. I think I dropped it somewhere. Let me give it a try. Try to add 1 more shim on the. Lost the shim here. Let's see if I put 2 of them. Alright, so now we're talking. With 2 pieces of shim, that is perfect. Yeah, it feels perfect. Yeah, no slop whatsoever. That is good. That's great. So, totally recommend it. 5 millimeter inside diameter, The outside diameter, I guess it doesn't matter as much as long as it's less than 10 or something, less than the diameter of the bearing, which I think, so 5 by 8 by 0.3, and I put 2 shims on one side to eliminate all the slop, so that worked. If you have some shims laying around, maybe a 0.5 millimeter thickness ones would work as well. But so I got 0.6 in there, and that's absolutely no slop and no binding at all. This is perfect. Good. Oops. And like I said before, the stock stub axle had a little bit less slop than the upgraded one. So you may not, if you're sticking with this, you may not need 0.6 millimeter of shimming. You may just need 0.5. Alright, so get that on there. I am going to work on getting this piece off here. Subtle difference here. There's a little thing that sticks out. I would imagine it aligns this with. It will align it with the chassis here. Yeah, you just don't have this. You just won't have this little nipple here on the aluminum piece, which I would imagine is not a showstopper at all. Anyway, so get this out. Put this in there. Perfect. Looks great. And some stuff away. Going to put this back on. Aluminum on aluminum. This was it. So it's a screw for it. $14mm. Which I'm not gonna have, but I should have some. Don't have a replacement for it. It's mostly 3x10. This guy is a little longer. I pretty much have been replacing all my stock screws with the with hacks. This is a flathead screw. I only have 3x10. Yeah, doesn't look like I have anything longer. I have the socket head 16. So this seems like the one that's holding the suspension holder looks like is M3x14, which I don't have, unfortunately. Just want to compare the length. It looks like it's a 14mm, which is usually an odd size. It's shorter than 16, and I would imagine it's longer than 12. Because typically, I've got a lot of these stainless steel screws. They're usually either 10, 12, or 16 or up. 14 is a little bit rare, but looks like this guy is a 14mm, which I don't like, because now I gotta buy a set of screws that I may not use a lot. So what that means is unfortunately I'm gonna have to stick with the stock screw on this one for now. until I get myself some flathead 14mm screws and so this block is actually threaded. That means I don't need the the plastic, the stock one. You got you run the screw through the plastic piece, and it's held down by the lock nuts on the other side. So that means if the blocks are threaded, I can just go with the 10mm hex screws. I would not need the lock nut on the other side, and 10 is maybe a little short. I might need something longer, which I don't have. I don't have a lot of flatheads screws, but I think it would do. It will do. For the time being, I might have to order something that's slightly longer, but it should work. But that means if it's threaded, I do need to put some little Loctite on this. Loctite. Any screws that you have that you run through metal, you do want to use a little bit blue Loctite, thread lock. Here we go. Nice and tight. That's one side of it. You can see the 10mm screws are slightly too short. So once I get I think it'll be fine for now. I'm just gonna hold on to it. I'm gonna order some 12mm length ones. Then I'm gonna do this side again. This has been replaced with a hardened steel drive cup with two 5x8 by 0.3mm shims to eliminate all the slop. Got my little orange gold 12mm hacks in there. I am going to work on this side. And you can see that actually there's some slop, quite a bit of slop on the rear arm, which I didn't pay attention until now. So while you're in there, you probably want to shim it as well. And looks like maybe a piece of 0.2mm shim would suffice. Yeah, the problem is the slop is not just axial, axial direction. Is actually, seems like the pin that goes through the block is a little bit too small. So there's a lot of wobbling. So I don't know, if you shim it, you may prevent some slop in this direction, but there's still going to be slop the other direction and up. That's an interesting problem. Looking at a stock one, very similar. See that? A lot of slop, and actually, let me take this out and see how much bigger. Here, set this down. This little pin that holds that the A-arm runs through is 2.9mm or 3mm. and does appear the A-arm opening is 3.3, so 2.9 versus 3.3. You got 0.4 millimeter of room for this guy to, yeah, the hole should be a little bit tighter. Should have been about 3.2-ish, but so there's a little bit too much room for it to wobble around in there. I don't know if the RPM A-arms, the rear A-arms, will help. Maybe they have a better tolerance, a better, smaller, a little bit smaller diameter. The openings, the holes, which will eliminate some of the slop, or not. No idea. I didn't buy them, as I mean, at some point, eventually, I will get the rear A-arms from RPM, but I just didn't get it. And just be a repeat of what it did on the left side. Hardened steel drive cups, 2.3 millimeter thick shims. Run through this, put the pins, put the axle pin back in, then just trouble running the pin through. Stock pin is not liking this, so not sure why. We'll go with one of the pins that came with these aluminum axes. Nope. Pins won't go all the way through. I'm not sure why. Might have to force it a little bit. Let me just check. Nope. Two shims, just like the other side. It's like two shims might be a little bit too much. Trying to force the axle pin to go through this. May not be a good idea, but just keep everything the same. Since I did two on the other side, oh yeah, I'm forcing this a little bit. I have to use the pliers to force it a little bit. It's in there good. Nope. It's in there good. You put the wheel nut back on just to hold on to the hex. And again, no slop whatsoever. No slop. There is some, barely. What is that? This side. Oh yeah, once you push it hard enough, you hear the click. There is some slop, but you have to force it. So naturally, there was some more slop that eliminated, but there is a little bit of slop left in there. Not a big deal. Regarding the slop on the A-arm, I'm gonna have to take a look and see what I can do. Yep,